Make the disco, shake the disco, go the ball today. Um, unless I go down to Dan's, but if you want some privacy, I guess I can. So, guys, this is for Kim Jong Un. I'm going to give him this piece of art. I'm sorry it's a bit tattered around the corners. So I'm going to send it to you. I've just got to maybe, I don't want anyone to steal it. So what I'd like to, and I wouldn't like it, it'd be so annoying if I sent it and you didn't get it. So maybe I might ask the CIA if they can send it over. And with MK Ultra, they used to put people on acid, give people acid, so maybe they can give some acid as well. So this is for the Pope. So Kim Jong-un, that even though the Pope, well not the Pope, well who knows, I can't read his mind, didn't look as dark as the last one, which looked like it was like not even Satan, but Satan's arch enemy, of the nemesis, of the darkest form of it could be, in a representation of whatever. So this is for the Pope. So it's supposed to say Pope. So it needs to be finished. So Kim Jong-un, I'm going to send you a few. So I'm going to channel for you Kim Jong-un. Maybe we should start a pharmaceutical company that make drugs like limitless, but sort of like you could, not that you'd want to be up for like 10 years, but imagine if you were up for 10 years but you still waited and did everything else right and got checked out, and sort of you were like, oh my god, I'm so scattered, and then you have sort of like, what would you call it, oh yeah baby, call it oh yeah baby, and sort of have that and sort of be like sort of warm, like just absolutely like sort of absolutely everything sort of totally connected to consciousness and humming and vibrating at a higher level, and just being able to soak up all the relative data, but to advance your physical seeable realm in your situation, which you can attach onto people's heart fields. So if you want, okay, you got an enemy, talk from the heart, look at it from their shoes, look at it, are they just paid to do that, or is there a reason why these people fucking don't like you, or shit's going wrong? And then there's the hack. So the hack is that if I was to, even if I got more Roger and things were going good and I was on here recording, things would get really shit. They would get to a point that I would be, you've got to have time away, you've got to have time of silence. You can't always be like da 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 da, like yeah, ba 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 ba, la da 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 dee da 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 da, bum ba bum ba bum bum, because silence is God. And I've gone out there, been real loud in my inner sort of whatever, and made contact, and I'm thinking, oh, they say silence is God, and they're like, oh, when is he gonna shut up? Like, whoa, man, like if this was words, he's been talking like for 16 million years, you know? And I would hold on to the branch and say that I want to connect to, be grounded by this plant, to be connected to the earth, and I thank you, Mother Earth, and I hope to connect to the deceased Aboriginals, and I thank you for what you've had to done, and I'm sorry that but you didn't all die. They went up in spaceships. They were taken away. They were helped like we are now. 2012 was exactly the same as, the main calendar, is when that went through. We've been wiped out. We've been started again. Each human, continent, each person is a different splice of alien genetics. We're not the whole universe, galaxy like in my movie. But, okay, I think you guys deserve to listen to my movie. Okay. So this is for Donald Trump. Okay? Topics to study before reading. To retain Martin's quote, you've got to be shit to be good. Do CE5 meditation and learn about CE5 meditation. No, do some research into quantum physics, quantum energy, quantum entanglement. Study and know about what Hitler did on studies on twins and genetics and how they share a relation. Study, are we in a simulation? And think of your own possibility. Experiment with a bit of weed, a bit of Roger, a bit of whatever. But know that don't go overboard. YouTube Martini Ravioli, The Global Think Tank, Get Some News Tasmania, Dr. Stephen Greer, Pepsi's Black Knight Decoded clip. So, yep. The purpose of this book is to be handwritten so no other country or anyone can capture it, other than the satellites that watch it as I write it or as you read it. To share my art to President Donald Trump, which I will be doing. I'll get the CIA to do it, but maybe I am channeling that you're not contacting me because you want me to work for Australia, and you're thinking that I could be killed by someone in Australia because they're like, no, they're gonna take our man, but sort of, yeah, in God's name. God bless you and God bless America. That's God bless fucking everyone. You know, that's it. To share my handwriting as if it's a third grade, and to show you I can't fucking spell. To show my movie script for the purpose of making this book to be a written testament of our history's new future in a bilateral agreement between ourselves. To prove we can create history, and we will, through the output of this book, through the input of our own energy and intent. For the purpose of Mr. President Donald Trump to feel happy and a sense of no one else but him know about what it covers. So, we won't go into that because that's just about Trump. And we don't need to go into it because he's probably watching it now and he's probably going to cringe and go, oh no man, I just hate when you start talking about me and saying you love me. What's Putin thinking? Who does Martin want to help to make this movie? Okay, this movie I want most certainly Mr. Trump to help me and his colleagues and advisors. I also want the CIA to help me. And if I'm allowed, if it doesn't cause anyone to get hurt, I want Mr. Putin to work and help with me. I also want to get in contact with the Australian Police Department, Mothership, headquarters, to get them to help me in it, because I want the people that are cops in the movies to be real cops, to be able to hold real guns, to be able to have staunch, to be able to find people that sort of like they, because of me, they're nice, but like looking at how they, and what I would do is I would sort of, you could, in what it is if you're going to interrogate someone, and the thing is how no one, when they go out, that try and get past me to say that they're trying to spy on me and for me to not pick it up. No, straight away. First off, they can try and scare you. They look like they're from the CIA and been smoking too many crack pipes. And basically their teeth are too white, and basically they're smart and they show love to a degree of knowing you a bit more thoroughly than you, because as we might understand to express how we work, we can't necessarily remember that information all the time quite easily to be able to help our situation or help our understanding of ourselves. And we do like some positive and some ego boost from other people expressing what you do to me. So out there we've got to love that the women are in intelligence community, and that women would be sort of that a real one could sort of, you know, because guys can just be absolute cunts and just use women and just sort of, you know, that's why I want to teach my daughter karate and teach her that, you know, there's going to be people that, you know, are going to, you know, and, you know, I didn't have a relationship until, you know, I was like 27. But that's good. I found Vacheka. I prayed to God once. God answered. Very later and longer. Hey, how does what you do throughout the present, through the actions and the outcomes of what you do, somehow create the past in creating the future and creating you in it being something that you can't understand. And what does that mean? I don't even know. I don't even know what I say. That's why I record it. That's why I listen to it. I sing for the future, 'cause that's know about it. Snow about it. It's snowing, the clouds are pouring, smoke is bellowing, from the eyes are snoring. It is muddy on the 66th day, trying to get to 666. You were going to say something that sounded like a horse eating hay, but I know you and I know me, and in the end it's to be good. So don't do anything that would upset the nature of your future's present if it doesn't make the present good, and it creates disability and distatability, constructual, evidential dictatorship of manipulation and being infiltrated. Could you be infiltrated, Martin? Definitely. Knock, knock. Kim's like, who the hell's that? Martin's like, is that you, CIA? Is that you, Uncle Sam? Hope you got a briefcase. I've got heaps of paper. What's that? He's got a Hoover out there. It's like, Martin's like, does it have any attachments? It's probably up to his nose. And it's like, oh no, don't keep on saying it. So, okay, Martin, what is the deal about the CIA and the Coke? Well, we're in a crazy world. We had a computer simulation and a computer hack from the IMCs hacking us. We had to create a better input of being able to create more energy, more intent, and the more energy that we had as the denominator driven the action of the intent to be more positional into which it goes. And basically, the more that it's on a plus scale and the more that the energy can affect the intent to affect the energy, and the intention affect the vice versa, is basically saying that, hey, today I'm going to Glenorchy to spy on Martin, but I'm just an office boy and a pencil pusher, and these bogans are scary. I might shave my head so they say, hey chief. So, Universal Soldier. My face is a bit fat today. I'm enjoying it being a bit slimmer. But, you know, like, I don't really look... I look at myself in the mirror, or the mirror. And that's it. Sometimes you're in your drugs or whatever and you look in the mirror and you don't like how it looks. What you do is you look away, you go across, and then you look. And you go, do, I can see you looking at me. And I've taken things and seen the most evilest person looking through the mirror and it wasn't me, but I had a conscious channeling of that's the motherfuckers looking through my eyes, and they're scared shitless that I'm looking through their eyes to know what they're looking like. And that's it. It's like, you don't know who you're fucking with. You don't know who you're annoying. So I'm not dangerous. I'm not going to hurt a fly. How would you intellectually destroy someone, Martin? Well, I would channel the deepest and darkest secrets, and I would say it so loud and so across that everyone heard it, and they basically just shat themselves, even though they had the worst constipation that any man had known before, and they were wondering where they were going to have a sleep that night, and if they were still going to be alive if they didn't have the energy to be able to keep on eating, because they had been up since the 40s, being on extraterrestrial back engineered technology, saying that Roger's the key, going to infinity, flowing by that stream, to know that they knew how to be, to know it was a dream. Don't do anything that you're never going to be comfortable with later on doing. So if you're making a decision on sort of what to do with me, what are we going to do about Martin and Roger? Tell them off? Send them an email? Martin. How would you cope if you got a job? Well, what I'd do, if Pompeo said, Martin, we're liking the idea about getting you to interrogate the people that are going to go for, and we don't mind rogering you up, but what we're going to do is you can either be a really fat person, put on a fat suit, or you can be an old man, or you can be Dame Edna, and basically go for it. And like a gopher would, and dig some holes, plant some trees, build some bridges, and it could even not be that any of them could be infiltratable or bad, but it could be that we could talk about things to make say, hey, Pompeo's my mate, the old Italian, we're brothers, the hospitality is in our blood. We love people, we have faith, we're acting in God's name to be God now. We're doing what Jesus did, but say, hey Jesus, don't target prostitutes and lepers. Let's target the top. But let's be from close to the bottom to working up to the middle and achieving more than most people have, but then to lose it and to lose your shit and lose your marbles and go through things that people would fucking tap out and fucking lose their marbles to never come back from. And you kept on going. You kept on doing it. You made contact over 1,550 times. You've had more than a billion entities out there come down and say that this guy's mission's good. Or these people aren't thinking in their minds. They're not saying anything out loud. They're not saying commandments. They're not saying prayers. They're not saying what they're thankful for. They're not saying what they're going to do. They're not having anything. They're fucking silent. Their light bulb is fucking off. They're redundant. They may as well not even be fucking in a realm that even it's like. They're just appalled by it. Why don't they come and speak to us and land on the White House lawn? Well, I don't mean to say that because that's an old thing that, I didn't have much respect for the president, but I've got a lot of respect for Trump. Okay, listen to this. The reason why Trump and Putin and Kim are trying so hard because they're holding the gauntlet. They're creating the future. They're making impact. They're doing good, but they're passing it on to the next person. Vesti News isn't saying bad stuff like about the French president Trump. They're sort of, Putin said to him, like, IMCs or something have said that sort of like Martin's a man. And there's reasons why he doesn't want to become famous. And we've watched his movies thoroughly. On Roger, on weed, on acid, on DMT. And really, there's a lot that he said that no one else that has said it. And he's had a lot of intent and a lot of energy behind it, even if he did use Roger. And the hack nearly brought his family together, nearly made his partner kill herself in front of me by slitting my wrist because I had an epiphany and said in my mind of a conclusion of what was going on, and she got infiltrated. I'd go out at night to get some Roger. I'd get followed from behind of my car and in front of my car. I'd drive up to the street, there'd be someone driving past. Every time, always in front, always behind. How much does that cost? And on a Easter, when the cross was above in the clouds by the plane, and how we had the orbs and they had the bagpiper, and it might sound funny, but what you people need to do is discover yourselves, find yourselves, have a spiritual awakening, find out what synchronicities and what things can join. The Scottish in me doesn't want to pay for it. The Italian in me wants to be an Italian so I can make the church want to be more inclined for me to be able to write a chapter. The Australian in me is the lazy cunt that does everything the fastest way possible, but I'm multicultural and I'm a white person, which is basically the pest that tries to eradicate everyone that has a different colour skin. And I'm here to say I'm going to fucking march on, and if you don't want to hold my hand, that's fine. I'll hold that poofter's hand over there because I don't fucking care if they call me gay. Like, at the end of the day, What is it? We win the game, we split everything down the middle, we divide it. We keep on refining it, we keep on refining it. The first entity that first started the hybrid race to create the hybrid race to create us, when it was born, it was male and female. So it had a vagina and it had a penis. And they fucked like rabbits. And they just realized that what they had to do is they couldn't control themselves. And the female would lose having children and then stop wanting to have sex. And then the male would have to go cheat on the woman. And basically, that's why we're male and female and we're split up. But hey, I'd rather not be that, even if my IQ's a million times more. Who the fuck would want a penis and a vagina? You know, be sleeping at night and someone tries to fuck you. You know, fuck that. I went to gay and lesbian night. Not that I care about that much about gay or lesbian people. I love them, but I don't like people thinking dirty things. And when I'm conscious of it, I don't mind what it's. That thing when you're at work and women like you and then they get one off and then they're really awkward around you and then they get really aggressive and start telling you off and start treating you like, what the fuck? You know, we're not an old fucking couple. Like, it's bullshit. And what it is that, you know, it's to reproduce. And if it's not something that is like a light bulb that turns on a light bulb, there's no point shining light bulb to try and light something else up when it explodes and then you've got nothing else after it's done its thing by light up. And it's to say that everyone should find the partner, whether they be heterosexual or bisexual or transsexual or anything. You deserve to have the person that you want. And I would feel really bad for you if you went down one track and then turned around and felt really bad about it and killed yourself because of the hack of it putting you into bad stuff. So, you know, I just think men can be the most evil cunts. You don't hear women going around being pedophiles, hurting children. And, you know, I am a bit of a girl. I'm not like the sort of... But I don't think they're like a man either, because I think a man leads and fucking... I think it's more that I care about people like a mother, and I'm a bit of a girl that sort of I'd rather give you a hug than sort of punch you. But if you're sending people out to spy on me, I would say if you could get people that could start rapping or start doing music, so when they come to me, they can just, you know, they're like, I turn up to the bar and they're like, oh, waitress, where are we right now? Looking around, not even looking at me, going, oh, really? Oh, you've got a missing tooth. Did you get that, like, taken out just before you came here? Oh, you're from Townsville. Why do you have, like, a you know, mainlander's accent? Well, why did he come talk to me? He came to me and I was like, he had a kindness to his eyes. Like when I was working at Bunnings and people used to come in and they had this respect, and I would be really quick to be able to sort of see, but you could do it in a way that you're projecting as being a certain motion that you wouldn't look, but it's like the bouncer sort of, you know, and I used to get rogered up, but I'd be doing a good job and thinking it a million, but I could tell exactly every single time, and there'd be people come in that were dark. There was a person that came in that was a fucking reptilian that was fucking had these snake eyes where there's fucking black that went straight up like, but you know, like at the end of the time I said that I wanted you to come into work so we could share a connection, and I would always laugh and create. And what it was is there was an element of me going through my psychosis semi-epiphanies that being in that relative state of creating a connection there of an environment that uplifted and created the observing effect, created an observing effect that all the products from Bunnings had a connection that was going out. And what it was it was like, say if we slept, it would take a soul out of us. and we wouldn't be as quick, we wouldn't remember. We could sort of, if we didn't write it down or remember to see it or whatever, it could take it out of our memory. And when you get hacked by infiltrated and you put on something that you can't really remember, it may not even be exactly what you watched, and it will be different. And what it is anything on a digital device is not correct, it's not true, it's not right, it can be manipulated. Not only CIA with Syria, with the sort of Assad's people of it probably coming up saying, let's do this, it's all shit. When there was a bombings in London, I had people walking on my TV not being in relation to actually, you know, like, we'll put on some music, but they didn't show in relation to actually they were walking beside each other. It was like they didn't even, you know, care. Like, it was just they weren't conscious. There's no consciousness. And what it is that you need people on acid to be able to home in on being able to know. And not everyone has to be on acid, but other people do. And because people care about me, that's why I have a connection. And the ETs are really smart, and they've got really high IQs, and they just show things that are relative. So CIA, don't be annoyed about the cocaine thing, and any other person that's gonna, you know, I'd like to work for the CIA. You know, like, I haven't really had that much coke, but what would I be on coke? How confident would I be? Well, I would say that it would take away the anxiety. I think that I do my own thing and sort of leave it up to the, like, or else I'd just sort of honk the whole fucking thing. And then I'd be like, my mouth would be going sideways, I'd be chewing my bloody tongue, and sort of, I'd have sort of like, look like an absolute disgrace. And, you know, we're not always good at everything. We're not always perfect at everything. And we can do some good things and we can do some bad things, and we can do things that, you know, we think, why didn't we act like our parents were watching? But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Pompeo's going to keep on doing his thing. And, you know, I'd like to interrogate the next person, but I'd like to work in a new role in HR that got to know everyone. And so if someone was like one of these people going, oh my God, I've imported heaps of cocaine, we're going to get in trouble, and they meet me if I was in the CIA, for them in their minds to say, they'd say like, oh, dear God, or dear ETs, or dear entities, or dear Martin, I choose to connect your consciousness, and I want to tell you something. I'm thinking that things are really fucked up and I don't know how to get out of this, and you're telling me that we needed confidence in a crazy world to push our vision forwards. Is this true? What's the legalities of how we should go about this? And basically, I'll get it, and I'll probably start singing, and it will just come out. And, you know, it's what's relative to me. Like, no one can bullshit me. Like, Kim could probably bullshit me because he's like a nice person, but it would be because it's through, I fucked him over before, so it's like, it's sort of like, okay, I want to come, Martin, like, no. And I'll be like, oh, fair enough. But it's when it comes to people that, because it's through respect, and what it is we want to start adding people to our families, because